In the beginning, there was Arceus. Arceus created a trio of legendary Pokemon known as Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, the rulers of time, space, and antimatter respectively. Each of these Pokemon have a different form depending on the orb that you give to them, called their origin form. In order to check the power of these legendary Pokemon, Arceus had to create a trio of Lake Mirages known as Mesprit, Azelf, and Uxie, the beings of emotion, willpower, and knowledge. Together, the power of these spirits create the Red Chain. The Red Chain can do a lot, but for the most part, it's mainly responsible for... Wait. What does any of this mean? Red Chain, origin forms, orbs? I think it's better if we just take it back to the beginning. Twin Leaf Town. You start your journey by meeting your friend Barry. You both decide you want to get Pokemon. But before you can dash through the grass with no Pokemon, the professor stops you and gives you one of his starter Pokemon. After a friendly rival battle, you then head off to Lake Verity with your rival, where you first meet the leader of Team Galactic, Cyrus. After this, you head to Sand Gym Town to talk to the professor. He gives you a Pokedex. After obtaining the Pokedex, you start your journey by heading to Oreburgh City to challenge the first gym leader, Rourke, who specializes in Rock-type Pokemon. After defeating Rourke, you head towards Jubilife City so you can head north to Floaroma Town. Upon your arrival in Jubilife City, you see the professor and Dawn being harassed by two Team Galactic grunts. After a double battle with Dawn, you then head off to Floaroma Town towards Eterna City. Once you get there, you see the Valley Windworks is under control of Team Galactic. After battling the grunt outside, he locks himself inside, and you have to head off to the meadow to get the key from the grunts, holding one of the honey workers hostage. You then head back to the works. You challenge the Team Galactic commander Mars to a battle. After defeating Mars, you make your way towards Eterna Forest, where you meet Cheryl. Cheryl asks for your help in guiding her through Eterna Forest because she doesn't know her way around. After making it to the end of Eterna Forest and saying goodbye to Cheryl, you head into Eterna City. Once here, you run into your rival again, and you go to check out the statue in the city, where you see Cyrus once again. Then you meet a very special person named Cynthia. Be sure to remember her name for later. Then you challenge the gym leader Gardenia, who specializes in grass-type Pokemon. After defeating her, you head to the Galactic Hideout now that you can use Cut. And you challenge Commander Jupiter at the top of the tower, who's holding a worker hostage. After defeating her, you head off to Hearthome City, but not before being stopped in Mount Coronet by Cyrus once again. After making it to Hearthome City, you then challenge the gym leader Fantina, who specializes in ghost-type Pokemon. After defeating Fantina, you head off to Veilstone City. And once you arrive in Veilstone City, you then challenge the gym leader Maylene, who specializes in fighting-type Pokemon. There is a Team Galactic hideout here, but we'll come back to that later. After defeating Maylene, you see that Dawn is once again being harassed by Galactic grunts. After helping her out, you then head off to Pastoria City. Once in Pastoria City, you challenge the gym leader Crasher Wake, who specializes in water-type Pokemon. After the battle, you both hear an explosion come from the Safari Zone, and you see a Team Galactic grunt retreating after setting off the bomb. You then chase him down to the Valor Lake front. After defeating him, Cynthia arrives, and she gives you a secret medicine that can be used to help the Psyduck that are blocking the path to Celestic Town. After clearing them out, Cynthia shows up again and asks if you can deliver an old charm to her grandma in Celestic Town. Once you arrive, you see a Galactic grunt guarding the ruins, and you challenge him to a battle. After winning the battle, Cynthia's grandma shows up, and you give her the old charm, and she offers to give you a tour of the ruins. After the tour of the ruins, Cyrus shows up again to give you a lecture about the world and the universe as a whole. He then challenges you to a battle to test your strength. After you defeat Cyrus, you then head outside and you come face to face with Cynthia again, who informs you that the Canalave Library might be some help in terms of the history of Sinnoh. After heading out to Canalave City, it's time to challenge the next gym leader, Byron, who specializes in Steel-type Pokemon. After defeating Byron outside, you run into your rival again, and he informs you that the professor and Dawn are in the library waiting. After your meeting, you hear another explosion, and you check the news, and you see that explosions have gone off on the lakes across the region. The professor asks you, Dawn, and Barry to go investigate each of the lakes, and you head off to Lake Valor first. You then come face to face with Saturn and you challenge him to a battle. After defeating him, Team Galactic clears out and you head to Lake Verity by your hometown to help Dawn out. After heading up north to Lake Acuity, you see that Barry is already up at the lakefront, but you don't have access to rock climb yet, so you have to go challenge the next gym leader, Candace, who specializes in ice-type Pokemon. After defeating Candace, you now head to Lake Acuity. Upon arrival, you see that Jupiter has already beaten Barry and he's distraught. But there's no time to be sad. We have to stop Team Galactic before they get the red chain. You go back to Veilstone and you head to the Galactic hideout. Here, you and Looker witness Cyrus giving a speech to all of Team Galactic. After following Cyrus to one of the back rooms, you come face to face with him and he says that their plan's already complete, that they already had the red chain that they needed. After defeating Cyrus, he says that you are more than welcome to free the Lake Spirits, as he's already done with them. After heading forward and coming face to face with Saturn yet again, you challenge him to a battle so that you can free the Lake Spirits. After freeing the Lake Spirits, they take off to the Spear Pillar to stop the conflict between the legendary Pokemon, and it's time for you to head to the summit of Mount Coronet. Once there, Mars and Jupiter stop you, but Barry shows up to help you in a double battle against them. After defeating them, you go to stop Cyrus, but it's too late. He's already using the red chain, and he already has control of Dialga and Palkia. After getting control of the ruler of time and space, Giratina then shows up and drags Cyrus into the Distortion World. The Lake Trio then shows up and follows them into the portal to the Distortion World, and they urge you to go with them. Upon her arrival, Cynthia suggests that you go and follow the Lake Spirits, and she goes into the Distortion World with you. Once you arrive in the Distortion World, the landscape is all messed up, upside down, and different dimensions. The Lake Spirits are helping to guide you to the end towards Cyrus so you can stop him. Upon coming face to face with Cyrus, he challenged you to a battle one last time. After you beat him, he retreats, and Cynthia says that it's time to go and face Giratina once and for all. This time, you'll be battling Giratina in its origin form. After defeating or capturing Giratina, Cyrus shows up once again and has a clash of ideals with Cynthia. Cyrus then retreats for the last time, and you and Cynthia head into the portal to send off Spring. After arriving here, you go and talk to the professor to let him know that you're safe, and then you go and challenge the last gym leader, Volkner, who specializes in electric-type Pokemon. After making quick work of Volkner, you've now completed the gym challenge. You're now free to head towards Victory Road. After a long journey through Victory Road, you finally arrive at the Elite Four, and you challenge the first member, Aaron, who specializes in Bug-type Pokemon. After defeating Aaron, then you head to Bertha, the second member, who specializes in Ground-type Pokemon. Once you defeated Bertha, you then head to the third member of the Elite Four, Flint, who specializes in Fire-type Pokemon. Once you defeated Flint, it's now time to challenge the last member of the Elite Four, Lucian, who specializes in Psychic-type Pokemon. This may be the last member of the Elite Four, but you still have the champion left to face. And it may be someone that you didn't expect. The trainer that's been helping you across your journey all this time, Cynthia, is the champion of the Sinnoh region. Now it's time to challenge her to the hardest fight in the game. After defeating the hardest trainer in all of Sinnoh, you're finally crowned champion of the Sinnoh region, and you enter the Hall of Fame, therefore marking the end of your journey. The Pokemon Adventures manga, Diamond and Pearl arc, spans 11 volumes total, but the Platinum arc only covers 2.5, so we're going to be covering that. We start off with our main character, Platinum, aka Dawn, who, after completing her journey in the Sinnoh region, heads off to the Battle Zone to gain information about the Distortion World. Here, she defeats all of the Tycoon Tower heads and all of the Frontier brains. After all their defeats, before she can challenge Palmer, it's then revealed that Giratina has trapped Dialga and Palkia in the Distortion World, and is going on a rampage destroying everything. After hearing this, a large group of trainers band together with our heroes so that they can stop Giratina from rampaging and destroying everything, and they head to the Distortion World. Here, they run into Team Galactic, who's still trying to gain control of Giratina and the other legendary Pokemon. After our heroes free Dialga and Palkia, all of the legendary Pokemon of Sinnoh band together to try and stop Giratina's rampage. After the battle, Giratina retreats back to the Distortion World, defeated. Dialga and Palkia head back to the Spear Pillar, as well as all of the other legendary Pokemon going back to their resting places. And our hero's adventure is finally over. Also, they always say that Rotom isn't a legendary Pokemon, but right here it's stated the legendary Pokemon, and Rotom's pictured right here. And they even played the legendary theme when you fought him in Platinum. So, I'm still going to say Rotom's a legendary Pokemon. I don't care. Also, they didn't include Regigigas here. They did him dirty. Another thing I liked that they did, they gave Cyrus an actual character redemption arc and made him a pretty good guy. So I'm a pretty big fan of that. Also, if you need an excuse to read the Adventures manga, I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of funny panels in it. Read the manga. Read the manga. Legends Arceus begins with your character being transported to another world, coming face to face with Arceus itself. Arceus then transforms your phone into an Arc phone to help guide you around the region. After waking up on the beach, you come face to face with the professor of this region, Professor Laventon. You then see a cutscene of lightning striking a tree, which will come into effect later. For now, you meet a very familiar looking face named Volo, who's a merchant of the Ginkgo Guild. You then head out to the Obsidian Fieldlands to begin your research. After meeting the wardens and the leaders of the Diamond and Pearl clan, it's then revealed that one of the lords of the forest is rampaging after the lightning strike that you saw. Upon investigation, you see a Cleavor that's been enraged by the lightning strike. After calming the Cleavor's rage, you then head out to the Crimson Mirelands, where you come face to face with your next enraged Pokemon, Lilligant. After calming down Lilligant and freeing her from her rage, you then head to the Cobalt Coastlands for research. The Cobalt Coastlands doesn't have a warden yet, as the previous one passed away, saving its trainer. A Growlithe then evolves and becomes the warden of the Cobalt Coastlands. But upon evolving, it's then struck by lightning, enraging it. After freeing the Arcanine from its rage, you then head out to the Coronet Highlands. Here there's a giant rift at the top of the mountain at the Spear Pillar. After making your way through the Coronet Highlands, it's then time to calm down the rage of another Pokemon, this time Electrode. After calming down Electrode, you then head out to the Alabaster Icelands for more research. Here, the raging Pokemon is an Avalugg. After calming down Avalugg, you've now helped all of the Warden Pokemon that have been struck by lightning. After heading back to the village to celebrate, you wake up the next morning and see that the sky has a strange red pattern all over it. It looks like it's the end of the world. You're then summoned to the hall in the middle of the village. Naturally, they're all skeptical of you, thinking that you caused this, since none of this happened until you showed up. After being exiled from the village, you meet Volo, who decides that he wants to help you and gives you a place to rest. Here you meet one of Cynthia's ancestors, Kogita, who then tells you about the Red Chain. After hearing about the Red Chain, you then head out to look for the 3 lake spirits. After getting their various pieces you need to craft the Red Chain, you head to the Spear Pillar to calm down the rage of the legendary Pokemon. Depending on what path it took, it will either be Palkia or Dialga raging. In this case, I chose Palkia. After using the Red Chain, it shatters into a bunch of little pieces, seeming like it was ineffective against the Palkia. After capturing it, Dialga then shows up out of the portal, and you realize that you're outmatched and you have to retreat. After coming back to face Dialga once and for all, you prepare to capture it. Upon going to capture it, though, Dialga then transforms into its origin form, making your Pokeball ineffective. With the help of Professor Laventon, you craft a special Pokeball made from pieces of the red chain that can help capture the Dialga in its origin form. After subduing Dialga, you throw the Pokeball, and it works. The light begins to return to the sky, and the red pattern disappears, therefore making the region safe again. After all this, Volo tells you about all the plates that you've gathered up to this point, and says how they connect to Arceus. And he advises that you search them out together with him, so that you can actually meet Arceus. Upon gathering all of the plates besides one, you finally meet Volo back at the Spear Pillar, and he reveals that he had the last plate all along, and that he has been the one controlling all of the lightning strikes in the portals, because he has possession of Giratina. He was a traitor all of this time. After revealing his true intentions to capture Arceus and rule the region for himself, he then challenges you to a battle with Giratina at his side. After a hard-fought battle, you finally defeat Volo and Giratina, and they both retreat, but not before Volo swears that he will come back, only to conquer Arceus, no matter how long it takes. If you got this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This video was like a year and a half in the making, off and on editing, and I really just wanted to make a love letter type video to the Sinnoh region as a whole, because growing up with it, it just changed my life. As corny as that sounds, it changed my life. To have a form of art like this just be able to impact you in this much of a way is really special to me, and I can't say enough how much I love the Sinnoh region and just Pokemon as a whole, and the fact that I can share that with other people who feel the same way as me. It's just something special that brings people together about these games, and I urge you to experience them if you haven't yet. But thank you guys so much for watching.